which a lot of teams have struggled on in the past.
Yeah, that is it's a bit of a stronghold, isn't it? What an accolade to have that you're actually probably the most diligent at some of the harder aspects, but already mid-control garnered by Mech and looking to be the punish on that is again Twisten though. A bit of chip damage coming through towards Defo. I do want to see how Twisten does, because I was thoroughly impressed by this man. We got to see him kind of unleashed. Oh, God, be not going to find what he wanted at all, and actually just being constructed across the map already. AslaN losing out has opened up a great deal of space. Obnoks, that's a shot and a half. Those sheydos there. And Twisten.
He's got lost. He's got lost. It's fine. It's just a pistol, you know? We don't talk about pistol rounds.
Well, that was the only ones that Big was really winning before, so maybe we you know what? No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll have the gun rounds coming in soon. There is a crossfire in place, then usually get past one, and that's one that's going to be frustrating, I'm sure, for Twisten if he watches that back. But you know, young players want to get in there, do what they can. Already, Defo going to be put in a little bit of a tricky position, but it's got to be again to open things up. Good start to the round. Obnoks going to follow up. This is good for Big. Shut down on the presence trying to be made through as sheydos now. Near on unwinnable. Just the Bulldog. Even though we were a little worried that they could potentially have more impact, and seemingly they've had to try and deal with this problem that's the thorn in the side, but he's doing this with a spike in hand, so he has to also be somewhat careful. The gap's being closed, and I don't think AslaN's all that wise to it. Steps down to be heard. And it's destruction. AslaN down. Obnoks, though, going to keep control of CT, so still going to keep at least presence towards the back line of sight. Defo does have a fair step towards it himself, however. Seekers on both sides going to go down, so information should be kind of free-flowing at this point. They should have the full idea as to where most of these players are, and Defo just securing further space. This man is just paving the way for the spike to go down. And now the 2v2 begins, and it's going to be a post-plant, as I'm pretty sure they can slip away. Yeah, that's a decent post-plant, and tricky to break through now.
Especially with sheydos still having a flash available, they can almost just burst back into the site, go for that quick peek, but they're actually going to try and stick this to half at least. There's the flash though, insta headshot, and not even going to get caught.
I kind of want the rest of the rounds to be theirs if they want to go into that second half with a solid chance.
That's bleaker than what I was saying. I just expect them to win everything from here on, you know?
If you're being realistic, they kind of have to, right? Like it's one of those where it's not a nice outcome, but you kind of need it. And the problem is now the rifles are out. You're going to have the economy starting to get into the right place. The ultimate cycle's almost hitting as well. That's not too far off from looking pretty flush. Twisten not far away from the spray, but it's not good enough to do as much damage as required. But you're right. Look at the space.
And honestly, from this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Big just save, because your IGL's on 2 HP. Utility-wise, okay, you have a couple of flashes to get back into the site, but you don't even have your Viper anymore. You don't have your wall to use to try and actually section off some of these corners. You also don't have any shock darts, so I think you'd have to be a little mad to try and go for a retake in this scenario, and that's, of course, is still on the hunt.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how much they're able to keep with this. Obviously, for Big, keeping 3 rifles would be the dream. Let's have a look. Let's see what it looks like for the man already. But look at the pace change.
Oh my God.
They've just absolutely switched it up a gear. I like this as well. This is hard to handle. AslaN trying to play between the wall and the site, and sheydos finds him. Goppy's at least going to get sheydos, but still, at this point, the site's under the mech banner. Chronicle's going to catch Kaspe again. And again, it's just this concept that works for mech, and be it a quicker pace or slower pace, they still find the same similar success. And that op really just didn't have an opportunity at all. There was no chance for it to really come into play apart for this retake, which it really doesn't necessarily suit. Now, yes, they've noted Nats, but to clear him, it's still going to be a nuisance, still going to be a problem. Does find a fight towards CT, and that's Twisten with the win. So maybe this is the first chance we've really seen. Oh.
Hunter's Fury. And also the Tour de Force. They're putting ults into this one, just prepared to try and shut this down. The recon is at least going to give the position away, but you can see Redgar's just waiting. All he needs to do is buy time on the clock. You've also got the peak coming out, and well, they've got to try and escape this one, sticking it at least to half, but Chronicle's still there, and then the final shot.
Really goddamn good. Already though, Seeker's going to come through. That's going to be sent over towards kind of that P side of things. Twisten does at least bring in that up to play, so that's Chronicle now removed, but a quick piece up through middle. Another new look coming out from Mech, but it looks like Big are aware, but can they still deal with it? Tag comes in, but it's going to be Big coming out on top. Finally, a bit of stopping power coming through. They have to somehow match Mech at this pace, and in this round, they've actually managed it, leaving just Nats in the 1v5. Spike to hand makes it a 1v4. This man can work miracles, but you'd have to be a madman to believe in this one.
He believes.
He is 100% in belief. He is not backing down from this by any means, and he wants to try and take a bit of space back. Flash comes in. Oh, he's found another. He's predicting the player over by the double doors. He's almost too early to be spamming it, but he's not wrong. Oh, the spam comes back. Do you see it right? What do they do to try and deal with this? Yes, it had pretty decent success in the prior round, but consistently speaking, I would say Mech is still larger in charge. The second flash, tailor-made to check on his presence as well. Obnoks position for one, not the second. And there it is. Twisten, the flash noted that position, but they still tried to progress up through middle, and he's going to do well there to re-peek a little bit. So already we're going to be back down to, what, a 4v3, favorable this time towards Big at the very least. And Twisten, right place, potentially right time as well, spotting that for the cross, and that's the shot you need from him. We said, can he deliver a caliber this high?
Decent read, and with all of the cams still being able to watch on that side, he'll have the information fairly early, so it's still going to be tough for Mech to try and get back in here.
One flash in hand for sheydos. The other's going to be up in about 10 seconds if he even gets to that point. Kaspe there now needs to play his life. Needs to just stay alive, not let the spike go down if he can avoid it. You can't really deny it, and Spike is planted. Now they know where he is. What? sheydos, get out of here. That's unbearable. And now they're still trying to find that player. Kaspe's being such a nuisance. He wants to get rid of him. He can't. Kaspe played that the win, but as said, more on the line for Mech in that regard as to what could be beckoning around the corner. Feels like a piece towards that beast right now.
As said, they've been able to make a lot of space on this side of the map, and in terms of retakes, not really been many so far. The after plants have been incredibly strong, and they're going to get into one with no casualties.
Yeah, 5v5 post plant feels a little strange, but Defo spots his first victim, finds one, rifle now back in hand, spots another, finds another. Just putting them in body bags. AslaN down, 3 more to go. Obnoks, Twisten, and Godby. Anything you can do to try and change the outcome of this would be a miracle. And I see what's in hand on that corner there. I see it, Twisten. Don't think I don't. And there it is. Finds its target, finds its victim, and now 3v2. They're trying to work this down, but they need that spike to be at least towards halfway. Twisten doing everything he can. But I think he knows it. We know it. And Mech certainly know it. That one's wrapped.
Towards this A site, having a pretty decent read at this point.
Yeah, they know what's coming their way. And Chronicle actually going to push into this, gets himself out of danger. He will at least give up the site towards Big for now. Spike going to be going down. I don't think anything's going to deny that particularly. No, Spike now planted. And again, 5v5 post-plant.
Okay, Kaspe actually going a little bit further forward. They're trying to fight this. They're trying to brawl alongside the players of Mech. Of course, Chronicle, even without his trusty headhunter, is still able to find kills, and they do have to be a little bit careful here. Defo looking to wrap back around, but he's been spotted by Godby, and they at least know where these remaining couple of players are, but even still, that might not be enough, with the remaining 2 sat back, just waiting patiently. Right, you can see already just how aggressively there's a plan to take it. You can see the peak coming through. Twisten, though, actually does manage to get the opener. Defo quickly trading things out, and we'll just look to meet up with the remainder of the team.
I actually really like that. I like they're using kind of Twisten as the tip of the spear. Just throw him in there, and he's looking pretty confident after a bit of a hit and miss first half. He's still doing okay here, but Spike down. And I'm keeping my eye on Twisten. It looks like he's going to hit that mid-rotation, trying to catch those players coming back in from CT, and I really like that. But again, the rest of Big do need to keep buying time. Otherwise, that position is absolutely useless. And speaking of time, Mech are running this pretty late. So this is going to be quite tricky to pull on the way back in. Again, another flash. It's good. Obnoks going to at least isolate Defo. There's that position from Twisten. Noted earlier, good for one. Does eventually get traded on, and we're in a 2v2 now.
And the time is ticking. And you can already see the shock darts being lined up just to try and deny this. The swing initially there, and there's just no time. Godby, just by staying alive, will do enough. And there you go. That is them now back in the map. That's a bonus round victory.
We wait for it. And on the other side, Defo patiently waiting and delivers the first. Kaspe now gone. You got to look at the rest. It's simplistic from Big at this point, but it should at least facilitate them crossing to the side. The ult comes in. Twisten does find Redgar, so that's rotations now somewhat cut off, but caught in the back. It's Chronicle slowly working his way back from Big and at least deny Twisten's presence. And look at Nats. No one's considering this yet. If he just tries to creep this corner, he's holding a fair amount of pressure on this one as soon as he dips through. You can see AslaN may be expecting a player to try and walk this wall. The flash comes in, all eyes turn, and somehow it's Chronicle to find Obnoks. I don't know if he tried to play through the ult. Nat's still waiting patiently for this one. Tap on the spike, draws the players in, and there's Nat making that debut, and again finds God B. This time at least be his own, and he gets to control basically half of the map. So not bad as Defo expecting Twisten's play. You could see the angle that Defo was holding, hard to deal with. But it's actually Chronicle. Ooh, quick moves coming out, but Kaspe barely alive, barely breathing, and Chronicle wants that kill. You can see it. But look who's creeping on the other side. Nat's closing in as well. He has no idea. All eyes turn towards Chronicle, and those as a dastardly duo. Every aspect of the map has just been shut down. Mech look unbearably strong in this moment. Defo again, just reigning in dominance. And now just Obnoks. Had to watch this team just got shredded to pieces. Does at least get one on the way out.
More information being grabbed, and just there doesn't seem to be a safe space for Big to really play in, other than mid. And that is because for the majority of the round, Mech don't play mid.
Not really. I mean, there's no sight on middle. So, you know, you're fine. For now, though, it does look like it's going to be a little bit of an attempted lurk from Kaspe. Does actually find Nat, so jobs are good. But by now, they're kind of committed towards this B piece, and there's still players here. Twisten going to have success, and that's good. This is impact. Well, maybe not, because Redgar just stamps his authority on it. Kaspe's still trying to fight, but it's all on Defo now. A 1v2 as Kaspe and Twisten desperately trying to hold on. Spike going to go down, so at least the timing's in their favor.
Yeah, and he has to check all of these angles. That's the issue of Kaspe playing this lurk, is there's so much for him to check, using all those little pieces of utility just to try and make sure this man isn't still behind him. The fact is they've both gone in to just play this as an afterplant, and Twisten himself is actually just sat within the site, a bit of an obscure spot to try and hold from. Fact is, though, they already have the information of exactly where Defo is, and he's expecting both players to be there. There is absolutely no way that he knows that Twisten is just slowly wrapping around behind him, and this is almost surely going to be around for Big. Looking like he wants to try and take a little bit more of an early fight. And in fact, it seems like the whole roster is Mech have had enough of this one and just going to go peeking. And already managed to have themselves a couple of kills. He should actually be able to clear this close corner, never mind. It's actually shot out by his teammate just to make sure that this fight is safe.
Oh, and Defo, yeah, and there's sheydos, the ace of the sleeve, right, just waiting in the corner. Obnoks last one alive. He's doing everything he can, spinning around. He's got players left, right, and center, and it's Redgar to close, but